It is the Mosley Show. It's a Monday, and we're going to have some fun today. Although we've come to pronounce the Cowboys season. They're done. It's over. It's a tough one, but the 1% chance remains. Cowboys win all three. Eagles lose all three. It's not happening. There's no way in the world. And you knew the lowly Raiders weren't going to help yesterday, and then the Cowboys couldn't help themselves go out and just really have a joke of a performance. I mean, just that was a poor football character, poor football IQ. Lots of negatives coming out of that game, and we'll deal with all of it. Scotty Swingler with me as always on the show right here. Scotty and I hanging out through the holidays. Scotty, let me know if somebody announces, like, if there'll be any holidays off. I don't know. I do not know, and I don't even know if we play by the rogue schedule. We may just continue. In fact, from what I understand, Scotty, we may just right there when the Cowboys play at noon on Christmas, we may just come on right after that. We might. Scotty's like, you'll be alone if you do that. You'll have to figure out how to actually put yourself on the YouTube channel. Hey, love having our Twitter audience. Thank you, Twitter. We're going to hit on all this Cowboy stuff. We're going to react to it. I did spend a little time with Jerry Jones after the game. I think Matt Eberflus is in trouble. He should be. I mean, if you watch the defense, if you watch just receivers, and I saw somebody, I think it was Jesse Holly put up something, just a picture where of the AT&T Stadium from above, and his caption was something like, where opposing teams' dreams are made, or dreams can come true. That is kind of something that's been in my mind. It's amazing how before the game, I'm sitting there with some long time. One of the guys worked with me when I was at the NFC East blog back in the day. He did the NFC North blog. His name's Kevin Seifert. He's still at ESPN. He knows how to get along with people. And then Jim Suhan, the longtime columnist for one of the Minnesota papers, the Minneapolis Star Tribune. Anyway, he's longtime famous columnist up there. But he was there, and they were kind of saying before the game, like, well, this guy, this team, Minnesota, doesn't have a quarterback. This guy can't really play. And it's like, I said, watch out, because teams sometimes seem to find their footing. Some of these quarterbacks you don't think can play will have great games against the Cowboys. Jacoby Brissett this season, Russell Wilson early this season. Anybody who last year it was Carr who came in for Derek Carr with I believe that was the Saints that came into town and carved up the Cowboys. It doesn't really matter who it is. They're going to line up. They're going to carve up this defense, and that's what J.J. McCarthy did. And then he grittied on you. People love rubbing it in Jerry's face. Jerry and Steven up there. Steven with the walkie-talkie. Yeah, Scotty, at some point, take a peek for that little meme. I think John Machota was the first one who put it out. I'd love to flash that up on the screen. Just Steven on his walkie-talkie up there in the suite, up there in Jerry's suite, and there's Steven on a walkie-talkie. I mean, these jokes just write themselves with this team. As the Cowboys fall to 6-7-1, does that sound right? And now, oh my goodness, they'll have to try to somehow finish the season 9-7-1. And wouldn't that be glorious? Wouldn't that be glorious to win those final 3 games and not make the playoffs? There's no way. Eagles, even against the team like the Raiders, even the Eagles have been, Scotty, what would I do without you? Look at him, Scotty. And so I liked all the good memes that came out of this. I think mine was Dad says get 59 off the field. Someone. I mean, it's too good. It's too good. But Steven up there on the mic. And then Machota comes back later and he says, of course, they're using those for injury reports. I guarantee you somebody in Cowboys PR knew that people were laughing about that and asked Machota to kind of clarify what he's doing, up there. But I mean, even that is kind of laughable. What's going on with what's happening with our offensive lineman? What's going on with Nate down there? Why is Nate holding on to his deal? What's going on with Javonte Williams? Like what good does that for them to know up there? I mean, be one thing if it was a coach up there in the booth that needs to know something and needs to know which player he needs to get ready if there's an injury, but I don't know what Steven has to do with anything up there on that front. I did see Will McClay after the game. Sometimes I forget. It's easy to rip on these guys, but Will and I have been friends for a long time. He's one of the top personnel guys for the Cowboys, and they take it hard, man. I could just tell it was written all over Will's face. Will watches this, by the way. Will you wonder who are the people out here watching this? Yep. Will McClay, a lot of these Cowboys people. In fact, their whole training, their team doctors are big fans of the old Mosley show, and they have found the YouTube channel. I want to encourage more of you. A lot of you today are listening on Twitter to kind of see where we're going with all this, to talk some Eberflus. Some of the numbers are so damning coming in from this game, but I want to encourage all of you who are watching on Twitter to make the transition to the YouTube channel. I mean, you can still keep watching on Twitter, but I also want you to go and subscribe. It's so easy and it's so free. And it's just like, hey, here we are. And you can subscribe and be a YouTube. And it was just so cool because, and Scotty has played a huge role in this by really making it known and getting the word out there, and all this Baylor craziness that's happened over the last month or whatever it's been. We saw like our YouTube subscribers. I just happened to look recently and we'd added 1,000 more. And I mean, again, I don't know if that's great or not good, or, I mean, I kind of like it. I mean, anytime you can add 1,000 of anything, Todd, take it. I got Twitter followers. I got a pretty good crew out there, but I've noticed, you get it up to a certain amount and it just kind of stays there. Right. And I mean, it's up there around like 40,000. That's great. That's nothing wrong with that, but it just stays there forever. And what I have really hoped is that our community on YouTube will just kind of continue to trend up, and it has done that. So I am so appreciative to you guys out there. Tell a friend. All right. Tell a friend. It's like inviting someone to church. Just, let somebody know. Let somebody know you care and bring them into the community. And we're glad to have everybody out there. And in fact, if you want to weigh in, there's a way you can comment on YouTube. You get in there in that live area, put your comments in, and then Scotty will bring it right to the air. Cowboys need a change. And I think fans would be happy if they announced today that Matt Eberflus had been fired. I don't think that sounds like them. I don't think they're going to do that. But the situational, they couldn't. I mean, on offense, they can't, they're really bad in the red zone. Then they rely on the kicker too much, and he's a great kicker. But last night he didn't have his best stuff. He missed from 51. He missed from 59. It's just they just kind of poke around midfield like, well, we, if we don't do this, we got this kicker. Oh, did Dak take a sack? Well, he still got it from 59. Oh, maybe it's not great to take a sack back there and make your kicker have to kick it from 59 when he could have kicked it from 50 or 52 or whatever. I mean, it actually matters. And this kicker's been so automatic. There is some thought that the Cowboys, it kind of causes the Cowboys in some weird way to play a little more conservatively, always knowing he can like kick it from anywhere. And we saw a kicker in another game yesterday. I think it was Seattle. Seattle went down there and beat the great Colts quarterback. I mean, that was fun yesterday, getting to see Philip Rivers come back at age 44, play his tail off, hang in there, get his team right there. Their kicker hits a 61-yarder, I think it was. And then, of course, the Seahawks spoiled it all by coming right down the field against the Colts and being able to kick one to win the game from about 53, I think. I think that one was 53-ish. But anyway, Cowboys lose, and there's more to come on that, and we'll let you hear from Jerry on that front. We also have a lot of college. In fact, I think we have got to do at some point today, and maybe 1:30. Maybe we'll go back to kind of what people are used to, about 1:35. Scotty, let's do a Campus Confidential, and let's start kind of running through all these portal. We got teams. I've been sending stuff to Scotty all day. I know he's gathering stuff. And I mean, there's enough stuff to go around just on lawsuits and all that stuff, but that's boring. I mean, honestly, nobody cares about, this act or the Patterson case or blah, 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 blah. Nobody cares. And what people care about is that whole crazy Sharon Moore. People are still talking to me about that over the weekend and all the stuff that's happened at Michigan. That was crazy, but all these players are starting to hit the portal. And with the Bears with Baylor having a lot of money for the portal, because, of course, they lost all these top flight recruits. I mean, they were going to pay top dollar to these top 3 recruits that left. And those guys were probably going to get a combined, I don't know, $1.5 million between the 3 of them or somewhere in that neighborhood. And so now you have that money toward the portal. Could have been $2 million between the 3 of them. Maybe. I mean, those were great players. And those homegrown kids that they lost, Jamarian Carlton, Jamarian Vincent, who flipped over to Michigan. And you got to look at these Michigan kids and wonder what they're going to do, because Michigan is in the market for a new head football coach. And that there was some drama with that over the weekend. So again, why don't we take a break from Jerry and we'll do a bunch of college stuff at about 1:35, and we'll run through that. I will say, just real quick to give you a preview, I talked to someone just moments before the show today that knows the DJ Lagway situation. DJ Lagway has gone in the portal from Florida after 2 years at Florida. Derek Lagway, his father, played at Baylor, was a good running back, big, powerful running back that he was. One time he ran over somebody from NC State. It was a great, famous touchdown that Lagway had back in the day. He was a fun guy, and I'm trying to remember if he played for – Lagway may have been on one of those teams post-Reedy. He might have gotten recruited by Reedy, but he might have played for Dirty Dave Roberts. But I'd have to think back on that. But all that to say is that we do know people very close to the Lagway family. Now, this is not a deal where the Lagways are going to go. Now, Baylor might be the edge if, like, the money was very close between, say, Baylor and Tennessee and, let's say, Texas Tech, Miami, LSU. Let's say the money was close. The problem is the money probably won't be close. Like, if somebody truly wants to get in a battle for Lagway, who's to say they couldn't do a 2-year deal for, say, $8 to $10 million? And you go, well, that sounds crazy. It's been done. My gosh, they did it for like a Duke quarterback of all things. That Mensa, you think they didn't pay that kid a ton of money to come to Duke? So is Baylor, could they do that deal? Well, they could, but it would wipe out all their portal money. I mean, I think that'd be it. It'd be out. It'd be like basically out of NIL money. You'd be like, well, okay, we got this quarterback. Now what do we do? I thought we needed some defensive linemen. So that seems too steep to me for something Baylor would do. Does that sound like something to me LSU would do? Yeah, in a heartbeat. I mean, they'd probably have a donor step up tomorrow and go, I'll cover that. I like this Lagway kid. I'd love to watch him play. I'll do 2 years, $8 million. Yeah, in my sleep. So that's kind of how that'll go. I mean, I don't want to, but we can't, all across Twitter, my man Kendall, all the, and by the way, Baylor is being mentioned by all the major people that know. So it's not to say that Baylor's not somehow in the mix. It's just hard for me to believe them closing the deal, mainly because they're kind of a lame duck situation with the coach. Now, I say all that, and I want to remind you this, or tell you this. The new defensive coordinator spoke today. We'll let you hear a little bit from that. We're going to be the first interview he does. I say that I think Baylor Plus did something with him, but I'm saying we'll give it for free. All right, we're not gonna. We'll present it for free. That's going to happen live tomorrow at 2:00. And I want to remind everybody that we're going to be doing a live show at the Brazos Landing tomorrow. And that will be at 1:00, 1 to 3. And then just a reminder, at 2:00, this new Baylor defensive coordinator, it'll be the first media interview he's done, and that'll be kind of cool. We'll go one-on-one with Joe Klanderman, the Baylor defensive coordinator. And so get your questions in. If you got a question for the new Baylor defensive coordinator, that'll be great. I have done some research on him and asked some people, that have at least been around him or know of him and all that kind of stuff. And all good. Good ball coach, great guy, great person. A lot of positives coming back about him. And then today, in what he talked about, it does seem like that one thing that Joe Klanderman, wants to do, he will call plays, as we kind of knew would happen. He will coach the safeties, and this defense will look completely different. Like, it's going to be a different looking scheme and what he tries to run. Now, it doesn't mean that Dave Aranda can't still, have a lot of the ideas and a lot of the conversations that you would have, but I think he's going to let Joe Klanderman run this defense. It's what he needs. And I saw a quote from Dave Aranda. I think I sent you this, Scotty. So something along the lines of, I look forward to going back to being a head coach. So okay, Dave, here you go, man. I mean, obviously, as a head coach, he was not doing well, in 2023. And then that didn't work. And then he decided to be, okay, I'm going to be the play caller and all that and take over the defense and be the man. And they finally got on a good run in 24. And then obviously this year they kind of flatlined. So Dave wants to go back to being a head coach. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I will say, Scotty, and this is going to come up in Campus Confidential as well, which I'm dipping into as we speak. Life just got easier on Dave. I mean, as far as the immense pressure that he'll face starting next season, knowing that he's lame duck status and that people will view him as almost kind of like an interim coach. I mean, let's just tell it like it is. But it was going to be tough. 2 of the first 3 games were going to be against Auburn and SMU with an easy one thrown in there at home. And SMU wanted out of it. SMU has gone to 9 conference games like the SEC. The ACC has done that, and SMU wanted out of that game. And you can say, well, SMU's scared, whatever. That's fine. I don't know if they are or they aren't. I just know they haven't beaten Baylor in forever. That's one streak that has continued throughout the generations. Baylor actually beat them last year, found a way, kind of a miracle comeback, trailing by a couple of touchdowns. And they came back, they took care of SMU, and now SMU's getting out of that game. News happening earlier today that La Tech is replacing SMU on the schedule, Louisiana Tech. So that game got a lot easier, and so you should at least be 2-1 after those first 3 games. You play Auburn, you'll remember, in Atlanta. That was going to be a home and home, but they have decided to play that game in Atlanta at the Georgia Dome, I believe. And so that's how the season will start out next year. So lots to get to. We'll do some Campus Confidential coming up, and we'll do in the 2:00 hour. We'll hear from and we'll hear from both. We'll hear from Jerry Jones some. I would just say that in getting back to the Cowboys, I mean, imagine how much they must hate Trayvon Diggs right now. To be in a situation where poor Kalen Carson and others are out getting crushed. Naylor, Addison, Jefferson, didn't matter which receiver. The tight end just destroyed the Cowboys. I mean, you knew, okay, they got Hawkinson from Iowa. They got no chance of covering him, and they didn't. He was running away from them constantly. They have linebackers who have no clue what they're doing. They play both Wilson, the kid they transferred from Cincinnati, and Kenneth Murray, who is just like in another world. I mean, last night, the Vikings at one point had a fullback dive play, just like, hey, guys, here's what we're going to do. We got this fullback. He's been in the league. He's 32 years old, been around, played at like Augustana College or something. I mean, it's a place I didn't even know what it was. And but hey, we got this fullback. We're down here near the goal line. We're gonna hand this ball right to the fullback. I mean, there's nothing going on. It's not like this is a trick play. We're gonna hand it to the fullback. No, just an old fullback dive play that you might have run. Cowboys were running with Robert Newhouse back in the day. Just going to run him right up the middle. No, I don't even think there was another back. I don't think it was like, oh man, watch out for this other running back. I mean, it's a scary. No. They literally just handed it to the fullback. And Kenneth Murray, who was playing middle linebacker, just goes racing. I mean, like immediately keys on something. I don't even know what he saw. He raced around to the end, and the fullback, they just handed the ball to the fullback, and he just waltzed in. Nobody ever touched him. I mean, this defense is so bad. And they opened the game with, here comes Donovan Wilson, the old Ag himself, with a blitz, hits the quarterback, ball, maybe deflects it as well. Quinnen Williams intercepts it, big man interception. Cowboys fake field goal. They're pulling out all the stops. It was a pretty one. The holder flips it back to the Brendan Aubrey, former soccer player at Notre Dame. He goes scooting around the end to get the first down. Cowboys go score a touchdown. They go up 7-0. They almost never go up. It's not what they do. But here they go. They have a great opening sequence. Defense makes a play. I mean, the rest of the game, Eberflus, it's unbelievable. He just didn't blitz. Had some success early. Just decided, young quarterback, inexperienced quarterback, just didn't heat him up. Just decided, no, I don't think we'll do it. Meanwhile, on the other side, just blitzing Dak like crazy. He got pressured, I think, on 44% of his dropbacks, maybe 50. Basically, half of his dropbacks, he got pressured. He got pressured almost more than any time in his career. Quarterback hits, I think they had 11 of them. Cowboys had 1. Kenny Clark went in there one time and hit JJ McCarthy. Crazy. It's crazy. Like, is Eberflus like trying to get fired? Meanwhile, Brian Flores over there at Minnesota just blitz. Just blitzes more than any defensive coordinator in the league. He didn't hide this. It's not like, oh man, he's doing something different than he usually does. No. Just constantly blitz, and then he'll bring somebody back at the last minute. I think he blitzed 60% of the game last night. Dak did not play that well. took too many sacks. I mean, they only got sacked twice, but he just couldn't escape. Timing was off. Pickens, we're waiting for his big bounce back game. 3 catches, 33 yards, 6 targets, 3 catches. Didn't do anything. Don't think they ever tried to throw a slant to him. This is like the greatest slant receiver in the history of the NFL, we're told. They just said, nah, we're okay. We're okay. We don't really have time. I think they might have tried to throw one slant to him. He got knocked down. CD was great. CD was brilliant. They had 111 yards receiving. He looked good. Everything looked good with CD, but rest of the team, and they ran the ball. They ran the ball fine, but the offense didn't adjust, didn't understand. They didn't do well with all that pressure. They didn't pick up the blitz well. Javonte Williams gets hurt. He is great at picking up the blitz, the running back. He was out for a lot of that game, finally came back, had a really nice run, and ran for over 80 yards. Good player. He's a good player, but they, again, they were just kind of in a game when they're down. One time they're up 23-17. Maybe late in the third quarter this was. J.J. McCarthy, Vikings are 4th and 3. So they're in a place where they could have kicked a long field goal and made it 23-20. They decided to go for it. They drop back, and McCarthy just delivers back shoulder. Siobhan Ravel, I think, was in coverage on that one. That might have been that was a Michigan State receiver down there, number 1 for the Vikings, and just Naylor is his name. Just killed the Cowboys throughout the game. All their receivers. I think every receiver on their team had at least like 60 yards receiving. Just boom, 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 right down the line. McCarthy finishes with a great passer rating, crushes the NFC East in 2 straight games. Remember, this defensive coordinator, Eberflus, literally was in the NFC North. He was the Chicago Bears head coach. The Cowboys against those teams this year are now 3-0-1. Got, run out of the building by Detroit. Got run out of the building against Chicago. Get beat by the Vikings. Give up a ton of points to the Vikings. Meanwhile, the Cowboys this year have averaged somewhere in the neighborhood of 29 or 30 points a game. So while the offense wasn't great last night, overall this season, I would not say the offense is the big problem. But the defense just is a disaster. And so we saw them play a little bit better in about a 3-game stretch. But it was a mirage. This thing's over, and the Cowboys now have a 1% chance of making the playoffs. We'll do more in the 2 o'clock hour, and we'll get in and we'll listen to some Jerry, and we'll react to some of that. I'll tell you what, let's take a break. Thank you, CNB. Thank you, Central National Bank. Thank you, Ascension. Thank you to our incredible partners. Let's take a quick break, and then Scotty and I are going to embark on some major college football stuff, including Baylor's new defensive coordinator meets with the media today. Tomorrow, he does the big thing you do. That is the Mosley Show. That'll happen at 2 o'clock tomorrow. The Mosley will get first crack at him in the media, as you would expect. That'll happen at 2 o'clock tomorrow. But let's talk some college. Let's do it next.